Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight we are here back with Death Battle, and tonight we got ourselves a battle of villains from the future. From Dragon Ball, we got Goku Black, aka Zamasu, and from DC, we got Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thon. Not sure I'm saying it right, but close as I can get. So, anywho, how about we just hop in and see who wins this battle of the future enemies. So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoyed. Let's go. Let's go.
Goku Black, the body-stealing arbiter of divine justice.
And the Reverse Flash, DC's psychopathic speedster fanboy.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
But I'd say the sincerest form of flattery
Not this
is
case,
not
though.
trying to kill your superhero husbando. He's with my boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Death battle. Let's go. First up. Dragon Ball.
What consumes the thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream of with all the time in the world? In Zamasu's case, his one goal was divine justice.
Yeah, this guy's got major Final Fantasy big bad energy all over him.
As the assistant to Universe 10's Supreme Kai, Zamasu prized, above all else, cosmic order and natural beauty.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
Unsurprisingly,
Too
Zamasu
late.
despised the inherently chaotic nature of mortals, being seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence and stupidity, like some people I know.
Yeah, I know those people too. His heart was clouded. Until the day he met Son Goku.
With God Ki, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the entirety of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least 9 times larger than our own universe.
Yes,
At
9.
most, it could even
That's
be
big.
as large as 13 times greater than ours. Side note, it's worth mentioning that when 2 gods of destruction fought, they were capable of casually destroying 2 of these universes.
And since the shockwaves from their punches traveled across Universe 7 in seconds, they'd have to be hitting way faster than light.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God
Yeah.
form for this, though clearly not.
Yeah,
at
first
its
time, I
strength.
think, right?
While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama himself has directly compared it to the original Super Saiyan form.
And don't forget, Goku trained with Whis and fought in the tournament with Universe 6 before Zamasu caught up with him. So by that time, he was way stronger.
Here was a mortal
sense.
with the powers of gods beyond even Zamasu's abilities. Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition.
So Sammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Kai, wish on the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku, and kill every single mortal in the universe.
And thus the
Pretty
deity
much.
Zamasu became Goku Black.
Goku Black.
Please, Goku Black? You couldn't be more creative.
No, you...
Yeah, I like to blame that one on, Zamasu. Oof. Yeah, I never really understood, like, what the heck happened there? Oof. I guess he was just getting jealous, like he said, like, some of the mortals, like Goku and him, were pretty much meddling with, like, stuff only, he thought only the gods should be able to access, like time, the God Key, and all that, which, again, oof. Also, this whole, like, thing of flying pigs. Where did he find himself a flying pig? Don't even know why he called himself Goku Black. It's just weird. Anyway, moving on.
You might be wondering, why didn't he just wish all the mortals dead? But that wouldn't be as fun, would it? Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but
just,
wielded by a genocidal
cook
maniac
himself.
instead of that lovable goober of a monkey man.
And in keeping with
Sorry.
Goku's Saiyan heritage and godly ki, Black can easily achieve the form of Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
But with a
Again,
champagneful
Super Saiyan
twist.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Rosé? Really? What is he, a suburban wine mom? Watch out before he
Kind
unlocks
of.
Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love! He stole Goku's techniques too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to
Divine
teleport to their
Lasso,
location.
God
He's even
Split
got the
Cut,
Black Kamehameha,
Sickle
which is
Sorrow.
a Kamehameha, but
Black.
And with a Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill.
which really sucks for the rest of the universe, because Black is kind of like if Goku just snapped one day and used his powers to their full murderous potential.
Very
Like
much.
the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a keyblade to slice you to ribbons. He used this very technique to, kill Goku's family.
He can even extend this Keyblade into a huge curved one called the Azure Dragon Sword, which, along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind.
Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the Desert Bandit Yamcha. Wait, what?
And he can make a sight and slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones. Black, not Crater Boy over here. But his most dastardly weapon isn't a key technique at all. It's the time ring he got from his dead master.
This ring allowed Black to travel through time and even escape into future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he had free reign over the entire universe.
And let him team up with his best bud, himself. Too bad Goku and company showed up to spoil the fun. But wait, isn't Zamasu in Goku's body? How are there two Gokus? There's only one Goku in the multiverse, right? But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came up with the idea. And then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on?
Sure, it's a classic
timey-wimey shenanigans. We'll go with that.
The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another point in time. And another.
Yeah.
And another.
And another.
And another. And another.
Oh, God, I hate time travel. Black has crushed Saiyans like Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Hell, even Vegito couldn't beat him. He even merged with the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed to fail. His quest for power meant nothing against a being that would always be stronger no matter what he did or who he was.
And the universe ended up being destroyed anyway. It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh.
Pretty much.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
Yikes. I mean, yeesh, just hearing Goku's voice say that? Woof. That is messed up. That's all I gotta say. Just, wow. Well, there you go. There's Goku Black. So, now let's check out his opponent, the Reverse Flash. So let's see what Thon's bringing into this case.
Barry Allen, the Flash, is one of the greatest heroes in history, an inspiration to many across time and space. And there's no better example than his #1 fan from the 25th century, Eobard Thon.
All right, Wiz.
That's a name.
We've tackled
Eobard
a lot
Thon.
of stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle. But I'm confident that Eobard is the dumbest f***ing first name I've ever heard in my life. Eobard was completely obsessed with the Flash and dedicated his whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd. Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But Thon's life irrevocably changed the day he discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain Barry's costume. By experimenting on it, Thon managed to replicate the Flash's powers, turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai showed up in the future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until Barry realized that Thon had fabricated crimes in order to show up and save the day. Disgraced, Thon promised to better himself before traveling to the past to prove his worth to his hero, to prove that their bond was special.
That's when Thon found out that Barry already had a best friend, and a family, and a life without him. He didn't matter. He wasn't special. He was just a nobody Barry tossed out in the trash and forgot about, like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only. When Thon visited the Flash Museum in Barry's time, he discovered the secret identity to Flash's greatest enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thon. Wait a minute.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? The shock drove Thon mad. If he couldn't be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy.
Man, like, learning that you were, like, meant to be the greatest villain of the Flash. And not to mention that, also died to the guy. Yikes, I'd probably go mad too. Or something, I don't know. But still, yikes. That does sound messed up. Poor Thon. Oof. I don't think any of us could handle that. Anyway.
And I guess also ensure his own future death.
He would travel from the future to terrorize the Flash family in the past. Revenge in reverse. He'd become the Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash? We're really setting the world on fire with these names today, huh, Wiz?
Thon draws his powers from the negative Speed Force, which he generates with every step he takes, just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force. The negative Speed Force gives Thon access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending super speed, enough to travel all across time and space in days. He can keep up with and surpass other speedsters like Barry and Wally,
who once ran fast enough to cross the universe faster than two gods who could teleport. Wally even beat himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thon was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself? That doesn't even make sense.
But unlike Barry and Wally, Thon applies his powers more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for instance, his ability to vibrate himself through solid objects.
Objects like, say, vital organs. And if he did, he'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thon did just that to Barry's wife, Iris, and Barry did not appreciate it.
Thon's vibrations are so powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-tier speedsters like Jenny Ognats can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing up the entire multiverse.
Thon can create shockwaves with a snap, phase into your body and possess you, and even speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts. And instead of stealing your speed like other Flashes, he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thon can yoink decades from your life and age you 80 years in just a few seconds. Kinda sounds like your sex life, huh, Wiz?
But Thon's greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel, and he uses this expertise to be as petty and cruel as humanly possible.
Thon wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too. So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could, push him down some stairs, retcon his best friend from history, kill his mom. He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's another big difference between Thon and Barry. Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thon often went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still rejected him, he went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life. Jesus Christ! This guy's a monster! But wait, Wiz, that's impossible. Grandpappy Paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means
he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Wiz, maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, actually, Thon was just inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thon was technically disconnected from it. So, Thon essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time itself. Whoa.
More specifically, he became a living paradox, a being without a past or future, literally without continuity. Not only did this mean he'd be unaffected by changes to his past, it made him effectively immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman, vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback, or getting Dr. Manhattaned by the big blue god dong himself. Thon was always reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry, whose changes to time could destroy all of reality, Thon could do whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop with no reason to hold back.
He's survived a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch. which has the mass of a white dwarf star. A white dwarf is essentially the remains of a star's ultra-dense core, which has a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
And he took one of those to the noggin and just took a nap. Man, he must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't hate Barry. All of his schemes, all of his machinations, all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
His costume says it all. He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the Kid Flash. All Thon ever really desired was to be by Barry's side.
In the end, though, goody little Two-Shoes Barry forgave him, and then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Though not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thon, he reset his timeline, removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry. Without that, Thon was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
It's Comics Wiz, he'll be back. And when he does, there'll be no running. He'll always be faster, he'll always catch you, and time is always on his side.
Pretty much.
Still think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
That's putting it mildly, to say the least. Which, I mean, when you consider everything, like, this does seem like a win for, you know, Reverse Flash. I mean, actually, I think he does have a win in this one, because, I mean, he's a living paradox, while Goku Black only needs the ring. I mean, take that off, he's pretty much screwed. Well, pretty much already guessed my winner, so let's see if I'm right or wrong. Let's go. Whoops.
It was me, Barry. I was the one who...
Hey. And here comes Black. Go for Black or just Zamasu. And either or. And hey, Zamasu, welcome back.
Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice!
Oh, hey! He's tricking his teeth. Hey! I was chilling here. Ow. Petty much? Oops. Miss. Let's try. Try again.
Excuse me, sir. I'm in need of your services.
Oh boy. You have a shield much? Hello. Good try.
Stand still and face your judgment, mortal!
Okay.
Instant regret. Nice try.
What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful?
Right through the planet. Through the moon. Oh, and back he goes. How has the planet not blown up? Good, time to go.
Incoming genius.
Things up.
I'll end this fight before it even began. Death in reverse!
Uh-oh.
Magnificent!
Oh boy. And time travel shenanigans begin.
Sinners, prepare for divine.
Yeah.
Why aren't you dead?
Yeah, not yet. Uh-oh. Here come the clones. There's a... Oh, jeez.
Oh, shit!
Whoa! Nice try. Try again. This part here. Oh! That's cool. Jeez. Way to go. Oh, God. So he wasn't lying. Oops.
To stand atop all things and look down upon creation itself. That is the work of a god!
Sure about that?
Empty threats to a living paradox!
Oh! Reversed!
How truly foolish.
Oh, whoops!
Sorry, was that important?
Face up. See ya. Just a few to go. Oh! Oh boy. Ouch. See ya. Right into the sun.
How fun.
Uh-oh. Time to go. Well, thanks a lot, guys. You blew up the planet.
KO! You know, we've sent enough people to that sun. We really should have a timeshare.
This
Probably.
was a fairly tricky matchup to figure out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
Black could destroy a
Raiden,
universe
what
like
else?
ours at least 660 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass, but that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up. At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would figure out a counter to this temporal invincibility first, but it would most likely rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed goes, it's no surprise Thon definitely had the edge. Yeah, Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thon is a Flash.
Even early in his career
Wait,
as a
time
member of the
travel.
Flash family, Wally West could reach speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate. There are numerous examples of this for multiple iterations of the Flash, many of whom Thon was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
And he could likely overpower Black and destroy said time ring too. After all,
True, he
Thon
is
once
smart.
generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe, which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1 billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously
much.
stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the gap here is way too wide to be able to just assume Goku Black could match this level of power. The DC universe is just too big. And remember, Barry and Wally's race almost ripped apart the entire DC multiverse.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is not Goku. Goku's drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd limits to potentially match higher levels of power. Zamasu took Goku's body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch. Zamasu may have been a deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thon's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not sunderwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse
Flash. Yep, the living paradox took out the corrupt god. Which, again, comparing the two, you can definitely see that happening a lot. So there you go. Reverse Flash beats Goku Black. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Until next time, like, subscribe for more. Good night, everybody.